Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Pop-Pop.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Ralph.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys. And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help.
We got a lot of camera shit going on. Good morning.
Okay, girls, it's okay. I know I went counterclockwise today. I got you all messed up. We don't have any eggs yet in the new pen, but we're getting close. I can feel it. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you. We're getting finished off with morning chores. We had a big day yesterday when it came to calves. We moved 7 from our little pen out to pasture ground. And many of them have been enjoying the new pen, especially this little red guy right here. Her name is Chugabaga, and Callie named her Chugabaga. I don't know where that came from, but that's Chugabaga, and Chugabaga is loving this pen. Another thing that's very interesting and I wanted to share is we actually got our silage tested the other day, and we found out that our silage actually has a little more fat than we had originally thought, which is a good thing, but because of that, we've had to change up the way we feed just a little bit, making sure that our cattle have everything that they need. When it comes to cattle, a lot of people will just think, well, you just put the grain, you put the silage in the feeder, and then you just go about your day. And sometimes it may look like that, but we try and measure everything out to make sure that the cattle are getting exactly what they need. And now we know for sure that the cattle are getting exactly what they need.
Yeah, when you get the silage tested, they test the starch, they test the sugars, they test the digestibility, and all that is important, what is available to the animal. And so if your corn silage is better feed quality, then you can feed less grain. And so we were able to make an adjustment that way. So we're gonna be feeding a little less corn now because we have more available in our silage.
What are you doing with cauliflower?
Chow chow.
Oh, I love chow chow.
This will get me filled up too.
We're just about ready to head out to the fields and start doing some picking for the day, but before we do that, we had to get an order of pumpkins put together, and now we're just getting all of our pallets filled up. That way when the customers show up, they have plenty to look at and plenty to choose from.
Oh no. Pumpkins are too round.
They apparently roll.
They roll.
We've made it out to the field where we're gonna start with picking for the day. We need to get an entire bin of cabbage picked for ourselves. We also need to grab some cauliflower for an order. The only problem is picking cabbage is gonna be really difficult because we don't have the tractor. So Dad and Matt are running back to grab the tractor, and I'm gonna get the cauliflower picked. This is the point in the year where it usually starts to get a little bit harder when it comes to harvest. It's not as easy to find crops, and the crops don't look as nice. Tomatoes and peppers, for example, they're looking pretty rough. But when it comes to these cole crops, this isn't too bad. This is the type of weather that they thrive in. So finding cauliflower, it's not too difficult at this point in the year. the stuff looks absolutely beautiful. Now that doesn't mean we can just pick whatever we want and we don't have to worry about anything. We're trying to make sure that everything that we harvest is still beautiful. There are things that can affect the harvest this late into the year, especially cauliflower. But thankfully we're not running into too many of those problems. And there's lots of cauliflower out here, which makes the harvest so much easier on us. This is the first part of the order that we had. So we've got our cauliflower picked. I did take about 6 inches of the leaves off, just a little bit of coverage. It looks really, really nice. One thing I will say is the color on this cauliflower is that beautiful white. If this stuff is exposed to the sun, it starts to turn yellow, and people don't value it near as much. So when we're picking cauliflower, we're trying to take all the cauliflower that were covered up by the leaves, and then we just trim a little bit of those leaves away, exposing the beautiful white curds on top. We've done a lot of cauliflower harvesting here on the farm, so it took me a little bit longer to find these cauliflowers, but we got 2 boxes of cauliflower, 20 heads altogether, ready to go for that order. When we were coming down here to get that cauliflower order, we also thought it'd be a great idea to get some cabbage picked, so that's where we're off to next. One thing I will say about the weather today is the wind is making it feel much colder than it actually is. Now don't get me wrong, for what we're used to, it still is pretty cold. Our temperatures are in the 40s today, and we're not going to be getting out of the 40s. However, the wind is bringing our real feels down into the 30s, and that is making cabbage picking a little chilly on the fingers. We're getting to the point where you have to be really careful when you're picking, because your fingers will start to lose a little bit of feeling because it's so cold, and you don't want to hurt yourself. So you can't feel your fingers. You gotta watch where you're cutting on the cabbage. We still have some cabbages that are a little on the small side. We'll be able to come back and pick these a little later on. Hopefully they will continue to grow. But any cabbage that's at the point where it's ready to cut, we're gonna be taking it, because odds are they're not gonna be doing much more growing. It's cold. It's cold. Things don't like to grow in the cold, especially here in northeast central Pennsylvania. That's a nice bit of cabbage. I'm happy with that. Fingers are a little cold, but I got bigger things to complain about, right? Come on. I'll let you inside the mind of a farmer really quick. First thing I'm thinking, how'd that tomato plant get there? I know, we probably thought we were really funny when we planted it. And the second thing is, as I walk out through the field, I'm not looking to find cabbage that we had missed. I'm just looking at all the empty spaces. We picked so much cabbage out of this field so far this year. Every single time you plant something, the goal is to harvest all of it. And this year's cabbage crop, it really feels like we did that. Our spring cabbage, it got a little too hot. Some of the cabbage had started to rot on us. We weren't able to get it all picked. But this fall cabbage, it's unbelievable. I'm super happy with what we've done here. Getting all this stuff picked sure makes you feel good. We've been picking off this particular patch for quite some time. It's been a while. And the fact that we can just continuously come back through and pick more, and be able to fill orders and supply what the local people need, it's a cool feeling. It's a good feeling. It means all that hard work you put in with fertilization, planting, cultivation, irrigating, all the extra steps that we put into this specific crop, it paid off. And now we're reaping the benefits.
My hands are full.
We have a little bit of a peculiar order, which is why we're picking field corn by hand. They need 100 ears of shell corn. So yeah, we don't usually pick orders like this, but someone wants it, so we're getting it for them. We got our corn that we needed, so we got the cauliflower, the corn, and the cabbage heading back to the farm, the triple C's. Just got back from picking, I'm warming the hands up a little bit, but here we can see Grammy still working on her chow chow. She's got her cauliflower, she's got green beans, red pepper, carrots, lima beans, and an onion. Are you almost done?
Yep.
And then you gotta put it all in the brine and in the jars.
Well, you gotta partially cook it first.
Okay.
And then you put it in the brine, and then you put it in the jar.
Ever since I've been doing more jarring, you know, I'm interested in this stuff. I'm like canning sometimes, not all the time like you. This looks pretty good. It's plain to see we've moved on to our next job. We're working on digging up some potatoes. We've only got a few more rows to dig and then we'll be completely done. So for the next couple of days, this is gonna be where our main focus is, just getting these out of the ground before it really starts freezing. Now we have 3 different types of potatoes we raise on the farm: red potato, yellow potato, and a white potato. I'd have to say our yellow and white potatoes are the most popular. Now we've picked all the red potatoes out of the field, and just the other day we got all the yellow picked out, so all that's left is white. Now the variety of white that we're harvesting today is called Eva. You probably heard us talk about Eva potatoes before. We really like them. They have a great flavor and they're very uniform, which makes them very satisfying to pick. When the potatoes look nice, it's a lot more enjoyable to get the job done. Now these Evas, we've been raising them for a few years now. I have no complaints. It seems that all the customers that pick up potatoes, they don't have any complaints, and the local restaurants really like the potatoes as well. That's where a bulk of our potatoes will go, to local restaurants. So the fact that they're not complaining means we're doing something right. The restaurants are happy, I'm happy. Now there are quite a few potatoes here. If we can get 2 or even 4 rows done in a day, that's very nice. What we've been doing is picking the rows together. That way all the potatoes are in one spot. Now at this end of the field, we were never able to go through with the rock picker. So there is, admittedly, you guys okay? What was I talking about? Rocks, yes, rocks. At this end of the field, there is more rocks. Admittedly, I don't like to talk about the rocks too much. I know you guys like talking about the rocks. But the reason why there's more rocks at this end of the field is because we were never able to go through it with the rock picker. So after we're all finished off with potatoes, we'll definitely be getting these moved out of here. All the potatoes that we have on the ground have now been put into baskets. Daniel is still working on digging up more potatoes though. Once we get off this little ridge, there should be fewer and fewer rocks. Even though there were quite a few rocks, the potatoes were still really nice, which I'm very happy about. Matthew's now bringing over the tractor and a bin. We're gonna get the potatoes that we had harvested into the bins. And then once we're all finished with that, it's back to picking up potatoes. First bin down, not sure how many potatoes we're gonna get, but when the potatoes look this nice, hard to complain. We ran out of time for the morning, but we were able to get 2 beautiful bins of potatoes dug. We're thinking we've probably got about 4 or 5 more sitting on the ground, so that'll be for this afternoon. Who showed up for lunch? It's Ralph.
I couldn't hide forever, Andrew.
He smelt it. That's what it was.
Yep.
It's deer season. That's why he's around. Just got finished off with lunch. The farm market has been very, very busy today. We're trying to get rid of the last few mums that we have in our greenhouse. We've been doing a pretty good job at it. The greenhouse is getting just about empty, and once we get it all emptied out, we can clean our middle tables off and then winterize it. We got the far side tables cleaned off. We have these far side tables cleaned off. It's just this middle section, and then we'll be good to go. For the afternoon, it's not gonna be too exciting here on the farm. You know what we're gonna be doing? Digging potatoes. Yeah, we're trying to get all those potatoes out of the ground, and what we do have on the ground needs to be put into baskets and into bins. Before we head off and get that taken care of though, I really need to show you our storage area and kind of give you an idea of what the plans are. These were the potatoes that we got dug yesterday, and just by looking at this, you'll get a pretty good idea of what our plans are. We're gonna stack potatoes in this back section of our storage area, and then as need be, we're gonna pull them down, wash them, and then bag them. I've touched on it a few times as to why we like to store them dirty. They last a lot longer when you store them dirty, and it's pretty easy for us to just take them, put them into our hopper, run them through the washer and use them when we need them. We've had more and more restaurants picking up potatoes and using them, which is a good thing for us, and I think we're gonna be able to have potatoes for quite a while. I know a lot of people here locally love having potatoes, just local potatoes all winter long, and I like supplying them, but the overall goal is to make sure that we get all the potatoes sold. You know, it's nice raising potatoes, it's nice having them, but if you're not selling them, what's the point? The fact that we've been getting towards the end of harvest with so many different crops has been really, really nice. I mean, the fact that we're not picking tomatoes anymore, peppers are basically done. I'm gonna try and get some more jalapenos for myself. But beyond that, it's just cole crops right now. Cabbage, broccoli, if we can find broccoli, cauliflower, all those things, plus the potatoes. So we've just got like a really good meal. Potatoes, cabbage, you know, broccoli, cauliflower. I could eat all that just by itself. It's a fun time of the year. The only issue I'll say is it's getting really, really cold. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a few minutes. We're gonna head out and get these potatoes dug. We're gonna put them all into the bins. And if anything exciting happens, I'll be sure to show it with you, but it's just gonna be potato picking. You know how potato picking goes. Put the potato in the basket, put the basket in the bin. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Oh, look at this cowboy.
Hey,
Woo!
how's your day going?
I've been playing in the dirt a lot. Potato here, potato there, potato everywhere.
Where else is a veggie boy supposed to play?
In the potato field. Picking up potatoes is going smoothly. We've got Ralph, that's a lot of help. Something I wanted to show you quickly is how few rocks there are at this end of the field, just potatoes. We got the rocks picked out of this side. We didn't get the rocks picked out of the other side. This year, we're definitely gonna have to get all the rocks picked out of the field. Now we have the most important guest out here. Callie, how has digging potatoes been going for you?
Good.
Good? Are you digging for potatoes like fossils?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fossil potatoes. As you can see, I am now home, and it is dinner time. Getting ready to eat some dinner. We had a good day. Did you have a good day, Lily?
No, drop it.
Oh, you didn't have a good day? No? What happened?
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what happened? No? Okay. Well, anyway, as you can see, we're all at the table. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Since we're getting ready to sit down and eat, that means this is where we're gonna be ending the video today. I would like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!